No, okay, all right, cool. I'm live now. Yay. Hello, hello. How are you guys? Welcome to another IELTS Journey with Fabi, where we talk about everything and anything IELTS test. If you've just joined, please tell me where you're watching this from. I love to know where you guys are watching me from. All right, okay. So let me know if you can hear me well. Hello, hi, hello. Please tell me where you're watching it from. I always like to know. Hey, Ju, how are you? London, woohoo! London's awesome, isn't it? India, cool. London, pretty cool. Bogota, awesome. So cool. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I miss you too, Ju. Miss you, but I heard you're doing quite well. Yay. Mexico, so many places. Cool. And guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabi. I'm an English teacher and I help people get the score they need on the IELTS test and do the test only once. So if you're interested in information about the IELTS test, this is the place to be, okay? And today we are going to talk about why is it so difficult to improve our speaking and our writing skills. Okay. So it is most people, I don't know if how long you have been into your IELTS journey. Okay. If you haven't started yet, maybe you don't know that yet. However, sometimes you're listening and your writing, sorry, your listening and your reading will improve quite quickly. Okay. And then sometimes your writing and your speaking will be a little bit behind. Okay. Ecuador, hello. Country today. Oh my God. Okay. So that happens sometimes. Okay. So, for example, I have worked with students who are getting 7 in listening, 7 in reading, 6 in speaking, 6 in writing. And it's normal. Okay. Don't freak out. I know that all of you, you probably need 777 or 666, 555. But there are things we can do to improve that. But it is normal. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. So, hello from Mexico. Hello. And I'm going to tell you why today. Why sometimes people improve reading and listening very quickly. And then speaking and writing, they behind a little bit. I'll tell you why. Okay. So, the first thing we have to understand is that when we are talking about learning languages, okay, we have 4 skills, as you know. If you're going to do the IELTS test, you know they're going to test your 4 skills. Okay, hello from Chile. Hello. So they will check your reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Okay. However, when it comes to reading and listening, listening and reading is what we call receptive skills. So, what are receptive skills? Receptive skills are those skills where you don't do anything, you just understand. So you read something, you go, yes, I understand. Or you have the listening, right? You listen and then you say, I understand. You don't have to do anything. That's what we call receptive skills. Those skills that you don't have to do much, okay? And it is okay to improve those faster because they tend to be slightly easier to improve. And we do improve them faster because we don't have to do much, okay? However, when it comes to and writing, speaking and writing, these are the ones where you really have to do something about it. Okay, because there's a big difference between understanding something, being able to understand, and being able to speak. Huge difference. Okay, guys, huge difference. So that's why it will take you longer. Okay, that's one of the reasons because with the receptive skills, okay, you are listening and you understand. Productive skills, you have to do something. And I'm going to tell you why it takes longer to improve. Not only because it's a productive skill, there's more there, and I'm going to tell you today. All right? Okay, cool. So, one of the things, okay, so again, my focus here today is talk about English, okay? Talk about your IELTS test, okay? Let's talk about writing first. Okay, let's talk about writing. So, with writing, few people practice writing. Tell me, how often do you write in English? How often do you write more than 100 words in English? More than a paragraph? Tell me, if you're watching me right now, how often do you do that? How often do you write more than 100 words? Okay. That's one reason why it takes us longer to improve our writing because we don't do that often. We just don't. If you are my student in my course, you are writing every day. But that's not very common. Not everyone will do that. All right, guys. So, this is one of the reasons why people, what, why people, why it usually takes longer for people to improve their writing because they're just not practicing. Okay, they're just not practicing. Okay. And another thing is maybe you are practicing. Okay. You are doing your practice, you look at the task, and you do your writing, and then you finish it. And what do you do with it? Right after you finished your writing, what do you do with it? Usually, people do it in a computer. They save the document and they leave it there. That's another mistake. To be able to improve your writing, you have to give it to someone, get some feedback. If you get a writing task for the IELTS test, you do your writing, you save it in your computer, and then you get another task, you do it, and you save it in your computer. You might not improve because you don't know what you're doing wrong. Was it good? Was it a good writing? Did you have paragraphs? Did you have the right structure? You don't know. So when you don't know that, you don't improve. And guys, don't get your first feedback for your IELTS writing on the day of the test, please. You should be doing it in advance. You should be getting feedback and knowing what you are doing wrong. Okay, that's one of the main reasons, again, but it takes people such a long time to improve their writing because they don't know what they're doing wrong. So you keep making the same mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. All right. So be very careful with that. Okay. So it is completely normal to take a little bit longer to improve when it comes to writing. However, if let's say, if you're getting feedback, it might take you 1, 2 weeks. If you're not getting feedback, it will take you forever because you never know what you're doing wrong. And that's one mistake that people make. That's why it's taking people so long to improve their writing. First, they're not practicing a lot. Okay. Second, second, it's just because they're not getting feedback. They're just not getting feedback. So that is the problem. Okay, so we have to think about that. All right. These are one of the reasons why it's taking longer. Okay. Another reason is if you have been watching me for a while, you know that I'm always talking about the structure of the writing. Mhm. I'm always talking about the structure of the writing. And people don't talk much about the structure of the writing. I do it all the time. I think that's the first thing you have to pay attention to. And if you don't have a really good structure, you're not going to get a high score. And sometimes your English is pretty good, but you don't have a good structure, meaning you just don't know how to write. You have the knowledge, you have the English, but you don't know how to write. That can be a huge problem. And if you don't know that, it will also take you longer to write, to improve your writing. Okay. So, guys, it is normal for you to, for, it just takes longer and it's completely fine. However, there are things that people are doing that is making it worse, actually. Not getting feedback, not practicing, not thinking about the structure. Oops. So these are one of the main reasons why it's taking such a long time for some people to improve their writing. And if you are one of these people, please let me know in the comments here. Okay. Is it taking you a long time to improve your writing? You're probably making, so I mentioned about 3 mistakes. You're probably making all of the mistakes, all of them. Okay, I had some comments here, guys. We just go back a little bit. How can I learn English faster? You have to push yourself every day. Yeah. Do a little bit every day. When you start doing a little bit every day, it will become very easy and it will be much, much faster. That's my personal opinion. Okay. And there was another comment here. Someone said, I wish to speak English like you. Thank you. Don't make it a wish, make it a commitment. You can do it. You have to start today. Okay. And then another comment, I watch series and movies in English with subtitles in Spanish. Is it okay? Well, that's the thing. Uh, I think that to really improve your English, you should be doing everything in English. Some people disagree with me, but that's how I learned. And that's what I share with my students. And I think everyone should try and see how they feel. So for me, maybe you should start by watching TV with subtitles, movies with subtitles in English, and see how you feel. And if you feel good, if you can understand, guess what? The next step is to watch movies without the subtitles. Yeah. And again, guys, nowadays we can pause everything. We can go backwards, you can go forwards. So let's say you're watching something in English, no subtitles, and then they say something and you don't understand. Go back, put the subtitles, read. Oh, that's what they said. Take the subtitles off again. Nowadays you can do that. So, yeah. So, again, it's not only about that's what I tell my students, not only about doing things in English. It's important to do things in English, but sometimes, we have to stop and analyze it too. Not all the time because that gets tiring. But if you don't understand something, take the time, don't be lazy. Take the time, pause, go back a little bit, put the subtitles, read, oh, so that's what they said, and maybe something new for you. Take notes. Then go to Cambridge Dictionary. That's what I tell my students to do. Okay. And you'll see the difference. And then maybe they will be a little bit annoying. Oh my God, I have to pause. I have to go back, put subtitles, take off subtitles, take notes. Yeah, in the beginning can be a little bit boring, but it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. You will see the difference in the end. Okay, big, huge difference. All right, okay. So guys, for those of you who just arrived, today we are talking about why does it take so much longer to improve your speaking and your writing compared to reading and listening. Yeah, reading and listening. So what we're talking about here is the fact that reading and listening are receptive skills. So we don't have to do much. So we usually improve them quicker. But then when it comes to writing and speaking, it might take you longer because they are what we call productive skills. Okay, productive skills. All right, goody goody. Okay, now we already talked about writing. Okay, so some of the things that might be challenging you to improve your writing. Okay, Now we're going to talk a little bit about speaking. Speaking. Okay, so someone said hello, teacher on YouTube. Hello. Yes, guys, we're also live on YouTube. Okay, and when the live is finished, if you want to watch this again, just head to YouTube. Okay, it'll be there forever. All right. So with speaking, I think that one of the main reasons that people struggle with speaking is that there isn't a lot of thinking time. There's no time for preparation. Okay. So you were asked the question and you have to answer straight away. You have to answer it straight away. And that can be a problem. Okay. And that's when people might make mistakes. And lots of people feel quite pressured when they're speaking in English. And people tend to avoid. hmm How many of you hate talking on the phone in English? Yeah, you end up sending a text message. So people are most of the time people are avoiding situations in which they have to speak in English. And that is not contributing to your progress, guys. It's all about practice. So if you are doing the IELTS test anytime soon, my recommendation would be use every opportunity you have to speak in English. But that's a problem for a lot of people. That's why it's taking you a long time to improve, okay? But guys, if you are committed to your IELTS score, put that to the side. Okay, put that to the side. Okay? And start practicing more. Take the opportunity. Okay? And the more you do it, the easier it will become. Okay, you are like, how do I know that? Well, I've been helping people with the IELTS test forever. All right. And it's very common for when we're practicing for the IELTS test, we do speaking practices, right? We always do speaking practice. I always do speaking practice with my students. And the first time they do it, they freak out. It's terrible. Second time, not so good. Third time is better. Fourth time, they feel much better. And that's why they get the best scores. And that's why they do the test only once. Okay, but it is okay to take it will take a little bit longer. Okay, guys, it will. So cool. The more you do, this it becomes. I know, I agree. But again, you just have to do it. You just have to be committed to your IELTS success. Okay, IELTS success. All right. Another reason why sometimes people struggle with the speaking is that they are afraid of being judged. Do you feel like that? Sometimes you feel, oh, I'm not going to say anything because maybe it's going to be wrong. I'm not going to say anything because people will think that I don't know how to speak English. Is that how you feel? You can let me know in the comments, guys. Okay, if that's how you feel. Because lots of people feel like that. Like lots of people feel like that. But maybe you can start by talking to people closer to you that you feel comfortable with, and then you can move on to people who you don't feel as comfortable with. Okay. And that's why if you need your IELTS test, guys, if you need your IELTS score, you should start today. No kidding. You should start as soon as possible. Okay. You should start as soon as possible on your IELTS journey because you never know how long it's going to take you. And that's the question people always ask me, Fabi, how long is it going to take me to get the score I need? I don't know because people are different. I have an idea based on where you are right now, where you need to be. But you need to know where you are right now and where you need to be. Okay, so you must have an idea. Okay, and if you usually struggle to talk to people in English, you might struggle in the speaking part of the IELTS test. You're only gonna know once you start practicing. But if you are worried about that, you should start yesterday. I mean, you should have started yesterday. All right, so that's just something that we think about. Okay, and again, right? So speaking can be tricky also because it's fast, right? It's fast. We have to think fast. Like me right now, I'm talking to you right now. I have my notes. I prepared in advance so I could tell you things that made sense with beginning, middle, and end. Okay, so that required some preparation. Okay, because you're not asking me questions, I'm telling you things. So that required some preparation too. And it's okay. It happens with speaking. Okay, it's the same thing with speaking part two of the IELTS test. They want you to talk for 2 minutes, but guess what? They give you a topic and they give you time to prepare because they know it can be really, really hard for some people just to go about and start talking. Okay. So these are the main reasons. Okay, guys. Someone said your advice is so helpful. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm here to help, guys. As you know, I'm here to help. And I know that most people can join us live, but you guys watch the lives later. And I'm so happy we have hundreds of views on YouTube. And that's so cool. So, so cool, and it's gonna be there forever for you to enjoy. You can watch it more than once. My recommendation is always watch it with a piece of paper so you can take some notes, or you can listen to it as a podcast too. It's really up to you. But I'm here to help and share information about the IELTS test. Okay, cool. All right. So, for those of you who just arrived, today we're talking about why does it take such a long time to improve speaking and writing? Okay, the main reason is because they are productive skills, okay? Things you have to do. Okay, for example, in my course, we do writing every week. Every single week, we do writing because it takes people longer to improve. Okay, speaking, we we have in my course we have the speaking class where I start the speaking test with the students, and then the following week we also have the speaking workshop where I do speaking tests with every single student who come to the class. Yeah. Okay, so in my course, if you don't miss a class, you will do 2 speaking tests, and then of course I do more speaking tests with my students later, and we have the monthly lessons and all of that. Yeah. Okay. So there's a question here. Improving English is like growing a YouTube channel. The more you post useful videos, the more you grow. Yeah. So if you, exactly, that's what I say, guys, just a little bit every day. It's funny that you said that because today I was just organizing a few things here for to go live with you guys, and I checked. I've had this channel for 6 years now, and I was looking at my first videos. Oh my god, don't go there. I was looking like, oh my God. And I started with what? 10, 15, 20 people subscribe to the channel and like have over 1,000 now, which is pretty good, you know. And as you know, I had my health challenges. So I took some breaks. But yeah, it's just like this. Okay. Everything is persistence and consistency. I completely agree. I completely agree. That's why I always tell my students it's not a good idea to just go on the weekend and spend 4 hours studying for the IELTS test. Do a little bit every day. Okay. Actually, a few weeks ago, I had a live on time management. So if you want to go back to that and look at time management, okay, you can go and have a look. And because that's what it is, it's consistency, especially for speaking and writing, guys. That's why we're here today to talk about speaking and writing, huh? The difference, yeah. So it's just a little bit every day. And then if you do a little bit every day, by the end of the week, you have a lot done. A lot. Okay. But you have to be organized for that, too. That's why I teach my course. Okay. So just a few more things for you guys. Okay. Uh, just one more thing when it comes to your English, okay, itself. I think I'm going to sneeze. 1 second. Yes. Done. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, again, when it comes to reading and listening, let's think about vocabulary, for example. With listening and reading, you just hear the word and you understand. You're like, oh yeah, this word I know, that word I know, that word I know. When it comes to speaking and writing, you have to remember the word, and then you have to, let's say if it's writing, remember the spelling, put it in the right place. And if you're talking about speaking, you have to remember the word, remember the pronunciation, and say to the person. So that's also more challenging. That's also more challenging. Okay, so again, guys, keep this in mind. Don't be angry if it's taking you a long time. Don't be angry if you need a 6 overall on the IELTS test and you're getting 6 in listening, 6 in reading, 5.5 in writing, 5.5 in speaking. It's common. It happens. Your job is to improve that. Okay, knowing what you're doing, remembering what I'm telling you right now. Okay. Okay. And again, something I always tell my students, and that's, I think, one of the biggest problems also for some people. Just because you understand, it doesn't mean you can use it. Just because you understand, it doesn't mean you can use it. You read things, you listen to things, you understand everything. But when you have to do writing, when you have to do speaking, how do you feel? Okay. So that's why I always tell my students, you only really know a word when you can use it. So in my course, everything that's new, my students, they see it, they look it up, and they use it. Because if you don't use it, you might not. It's like you maybe, for me, if you can't use it, you didn't really learn. You just recognize it. Because, yeah, you look at something, okay, I know. The next day, what was that? I don't remember. Can it make a sense? Oh, I can't. You didn't really learn it. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why sometimes also harder for people to improve their writing and speaking. Okay, another question. Um, what is your native language? I'm from Brazil. My first language is Portuguese. Oh, someone said, oh yeah, someone said she's from Brazil. Yes, thank you for that. Yes, I'm from Brazil. Yeah, but I live in Australia. All right, guys. Okay, so today we talked about why is it taking longer for you to improve your speaking and writing compared to reading and listening. Oh my god. So, the reason it takes you longer is because listening and reading, they are receptive skills, okay? It's more passive. You listen, you understand, you listen, you understand. That's it. When it comes to speaking and writing, you have to do something. And sometimes it's difficult to find the language to do it, okay? But there are lots of things you can do to improve that. And just the fact that you are here with me today, listening to this, knowing what it is that makes it harder, you can start fixing it. You can start fixing it. Okay. And don't be so upset if your writing and your speaking scores are lower. Okay. If you know your speaking and your writing scores are lower compared to your reading and listening, that means you're practicing. And that's great. That's great already. Okay. If you're watching me on Instagram, something happened there. Okay. So if you know that means you're practicing, and that's a great start. However, once you start practicing and you know where you're going, you do need a plan. You do need the strategies. You need the structure for the writing. You need feedback. Otherwise, your writing and your speaking will always be lower. All right. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions for me? Let me see. I think I answered everything on YouTube, on Instagram. Any questions for me? No? No more questions? All right. I'm going to head out. I'm going to have some breakfast now. It's 6 a.m. here in Brisbane. I'm going to have some breakfast and I'll be back on Thursday with you guys. All right. If you have any requests, any questions, please send me a message. Instagram is usually the best place. Okay. If I don't reply to you, just go ahead and and send another one. Sometimes messages get lost on Instagram. All right. So just let me know if you need any help. All right. See ya. Bye.